I never asked you when you guys were filming Air, your trip to White Sands, New Mexico, one of my favorite places on the earth. What was that experience like out there on the dunes?
Hot.
Yeah. So there was no acting involved in that.
Oh, it was so hot. But the sand was like cold.
Yes.
Cold to the touch, right?
Yep.
It's like that white sand's completely reflective. So there was no heat absorbing at all. Very bizarre. Yeah, that was so cool. That was like one of those moments where you're just looking around at all, getting on a helicopter with a camera crew, getting dropped off like a mile outside of base camp and being filmed, with nobody else. Literally, I remember they dropped me off in the middle of that desert with like a radio and some water and said, all right, just walk this way. We're going to have the helicopter come around and follow you. Of course, these days you do that with drones, right? But back then when we were doing SGU, all those aerials had to be filmed with a camera mounted helicopter. And we don't do that anymore.
No. Well, in this case, you can be dropped off and leave no footprints. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
But
exactly.
that's the production value that was poured into that show, even by today's standards, is just staggering.
Yeah, they really put a lot of money into making it look super, super, super high end and super, super, super top shelf. And man, they did a great job. I mean, I haven't seen it actually in a while. I should go back and watch it. Every once in a while, it's kind of fun to go back and look at your younger self,
Of course.
Be aghast. But
Elena came on, and a few days later, oh gosh, her spaniels are just gorgeous. And I didn't realize that she had also had gotten one or two, like when you got Cassie.
That's right.
But
that's right.
She was, a couple of days after she had come on, she posted online that she was rewatching the show, and she was like, yeah, I knew it was good, but this is good. This is a great experience. And I'd be interested to hear your take on the show.
I think it's probably one of those shows that, I even felt this like a little bit with Sense8. Like, I remember when Sense8 came out, everybody was just kind of like, what the hell is this? Stupid. The critics, didn't like it. Like people were just kind of like, the present day reaction to it was very negative.
The Wachowskis are on another wavelength. You have to get them. You have to be in their space, or you're not going to get it. So,
but then you go back and you look at like Rotten Tomatoes now for Sense8, and it's like, you wouldn't know that was the initial reaction at all. And like a lot of those reviewers, I shit you not, like this is why I just like roll my eyes at critics. It's like they went back and recanted their negative reviews. And it's like really interesting, right? And I'm not saying that people get things wrong, but it's just funny how our ability to watch things freshly and I don't know, kindly. We may not have the ability to do that in the moment. And I think that it was probably the same thing with SGU. I mean, we were always in the shadow of the franchise.
And Atlantis.
People wanted, like just understandably wanted the thing that they were being given for decades, and, so I think that now with a little bit of time, I think the people that will find SGU as its own sort of thing, I think will probably appreciate it in a way that they wouldn't have been given the chance to with all that negative feedback in the air that was happening when we first came out.
What friendships from that era have really withstood the test of time for you?
Oh gosh, I mean, I would say all of. I mean, it's I haven't seen any of them for a while. I mean, David Blue, of course, I don't know, but he lives in LA. I live in New York. It's difficult to to meet up. But anytime I've been in LA, I've made sure to go see him and say hi, and we hang out. Just David's the best. He's so sweet, and All of them. There's not a single person on that cast that if I just wouldn't jump at the chance to see them if they were around and wanted to say hi. It was a very special experience. It was very sweet. It was a very sweet experience. You know, like I get this little nostalgic feeling when I look back on it, right? We had a great time, and it was a great time for me too at that point in my life. It was just a great, it came right when I needed it to, and it gave me a lot of confidence, and it taught me a lot of stuff. I have nothing but great vibes when I think about SGU.
Lockwatcher wants to know about your first day on set.
On SGU?
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
SGU, my first... No, my gosh. First day filming, I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember what my first day filming was. I think we might have been like doing the exterior of the Icarus base when it gets attacked by the bad guys, right? And we're like on a cliff and there's a big gun, right? There was like a scene that took place when we all kind of meet each other for the first time there. And I think that was my first day. And, I was terrified. I was nervous. I'd never been on a TV show like that before. I knew that there's a lot of money had been spent, and of course you're,
right.
You're there and you're thinking like, oh my God, like, I hope I don't get fired. And, are they sure that they didn't mix my headshot up accidentally with the person that they really wanted to cast in this? Like you really do think about those things. Believe it or not. Yeah. Oh, but it was so thrilling. And we were at Bridge Studios there, right? In Vancouver. And that was just a fantastic place to work. It felt like it felt like our family. Yeah, God, I'm now it's all these memories just kind of washing over me. It was, what can I say? It was just magical.
What about your last day?
Oh, last day. I remember we filmed a scene. We might have filmed I think we did film, for those of us who did go back into the pods, we did film those last, I think.
Were those done after the Thanksgiving scene?
No.
The Thanksgiving scene. I love that scene.
Is that when we're all like around the table? Yeah, that was our last day all together, for sure. I don't know if that was like my last day on set specifically, but that was the last time that we were all together. And, we didn't know at that point if we were coming back or not. We didn't find out until I think a couple months later that the show wasn't coming back. So at that point there was still a little bit of hope, right? But I think we knew at that the ratings, the show was airing already at that point. The ratings were, not stellar by any, metric. So it did feel like a goodbye, and it did feel like we got to have a little bit of a goodbye. A little bit. It would have been nice, of course, to maybe have one more, season or something to round the thing out. But hey, that's life in the circus.
Exactly right. Thanks for watching this clip from Dial the Gate. You can find the full live stream shows on our YouTube channel or visit dialthegate.com for the complete schedule. See you on the other side.